Welcome to your daily dose of theological German, where a sentence a day keeps the dissertation detractors away. Whether you're here to keep your German fresh, prepare for an upcoming exam in a punishing degree program, or, well, whatever reason you may have, my name is Ambrose, and I hope you find this helpful. All right, this is the second sentence in this article that we're working through, so let's go ahead and start reading. Heilige, which of course means holy, and then you get to this word steten, which you may get confused by because it could be a false cognate. If you look at that and think that it looks similar to the English word state, as in a country or a nation, and you might start thinking, well, holy nation, that makes sense. That's a biblical kind of theological idea. Maybe that's what we're about to talk about. Except the problem is in German, the word that would translate as a state in terms of a nation state would actually be written like this. And so that's obviously a different word. So you actually want to sometimes look up words in the dictionary. I mean, it's hard to know exactly when you should or should not look up a word because sometimes the context will help you. And if it's similar to an English word, you might just want to go with it. But in this case, if you look it up, you will find that it is a word which means something like place, spot, or I would actually probably just go with the word site. And that's a great example, actually, where a good translation understands the semantics that you can get by looking at these different sort of senses in the dictionary, but doesn't slavishly follow them. And so you might want to say something like holy sites and temples. Then you have gibt es, which is a classic German verb. You should recognize that if you have used April Wilson's grammar. It's in chapter 9. It's inverted though, and she does have some examples of that. Normally you would see it as es gibt, but when it actually follows some kind of, I guess what you should say is when the verb is later in the sentence, and it's not just beginning the sentence, where it would normally be es gibt, it's inverted and you have gibt es. And it basically just means there is or there are. It can be plural or singular depending on the context. And so holy sites and temples, there are since the beginning of historical times, or the earliest historical times, or something like that. And that's kind of awkward to say, but what you have to recognize about this es gibt is that what you're actually dealing with when you think about the phrase there is a predicator of existence. And so it would actually be appropriate to just translate this whole sentence as holy sites and temples have existed since the earliest historical times.